GrinchMobb, the big bearded fella, doing this across the street with Jimbo. You know what it is.
Yeah, Baba 3. Go for a walk. GrinchMobb, 2016. Here we go.
Call this episode Wobble Across the Street.
Why are you limping? What's the problem?
Well, I mean, multiple layers, but I got this epididymitis, man, that doesn't stop. It crept on me a few years ago. I didn't know what it was. It affected me for like 3 months, and I was like, fuck this. I went and got it checked out, took the fucking antibiotics and shit, and then it came back, and then found out that it's the non-bacterial chronic epididymitis. And if you don't know what that is, my right nut likes to swell on me, and I feel like I got kicked in my nuts all day long, and this shit happens all the fucking time. When the psoriatic arthritis and the spondylitis and all that shit's fucking with me, it keeps me kind of from doing much. But when this is on top of it, it's like just, you know, shoot me, put me to bed.
Right. So what have you been doing during the quarantine? I know the quarantine's given a lot of people opportunities to get good at stuff or do bad things in their life or whatever it may be. But
I got good at doing jack shit because I ain't got no motivation to do a good goddamn thing. You know, this music shit, for the longest I was like, I don't know, I was like, it's dope, I'll just do this all by myself. And I did a pretty damn good job doing it all by myself for quite a while. But at the end of the day, it's almost impossible without a team.
yeah.
Or some form of anything like that.
Why don't you open that up?
Art.
There's some stuff in there for us.
Sweetness.
Yeah. Oh. Is this the same neighborhood you did get that money?
Yeah, right there, out on my street.
Yeah, right on the street there, yeah.
Yep, coming out of my house.
I was gonna say, I recognized the neighborhood. I was coming in. I was like, oh, wait a minute, I've seen this before.
Yes, sir.
There's that little 2-pack, that little thin tube right there.
Yeah.
That's the one that we want. There's 2 half-gram 35%ers or some shit in there.
Nice.
So I figured we do a little smoking, do a little talking. And
I'm not mad at that. Let's blaze us some Kush mints. You know, it's the one thing. Xanax, boy, I tell you. Anybody out there that likes Xanax and shit, it's cool, but I know you woken up sometimes half naked with all kind of stolen shit around you, and you're like, where did this shit come from? Where was I at last night? Yeah, that shit would happen to me for 2 weeks, 3 months. You know, I wake up a couple months later with not a bunch of stolen shit around me, but just destruction. I'm like, where the fuck was I at last night for the past couple months? So yeah, Xanax is cool until it's not.
do you struggle with addiction? Is that something that you...
I mean, not really anymore, but yeah, I did. I mean...
Something that you've been through, I take it?
You know, I shot heroin for 12 years. During those 12 years of shooting heroin, I shot coke and heroin mix. I shot meth, tried to shoot benzos. If you could shoot it, I shot it. If you could try to shoot it, I shot it. If you could smoke it, I shot it. If you could try to smoke it, I shot it and smoked it. And smoked it and shot it for a good 12 years. and then I got clean. I got clean for 1.5 years off heroin. And I thought, ooh, I'm clean off of heroin. No methadone. I was on methadone for a little bit. I had to kick 140 milligrams of methadone in jail. That was not fun. You don't want to do that.
You had to do that in jail?
Yeah. Yeah, I had to do that in jail because...
They give you methadone in jail?
No, they won't give you methadone in jail. So I just had it just... Back then they didn't. And because I was on methadone, they couldn't give you the Suboxone, which they give you when you're detoxing off of heroin. So it was kind of just a straight 140 cold kick off of methadone. That shit wasn't fun. But I got out and I was like, man, I'm clean. I wasn't on no nothing. It was just straight clean. And I thought I was like... invincible to the effects of drugs, and I was like, heroin sells good, so I was like, I'll sell some heroin. I'll sell some heroin. I won't use it. Literally, dude gave me the money. I bought the balloons of heroin. I was staying at the Joyce Motel downtown, which, if you know what the Joyce Motel is, it's not the place for somebody that's clean to be. And literally on my way back to the motel, I ran into this stripper bitch downtown, and she was like, I got a bunch of Xanax, and I was like, I got a bunch of heroin. And I woke up from that blackout about 5 days after it started. No more heroin, no more Xanax. She didn't know where it was. I didn't know where it was. She's trying to tell me that we did it all. I didn't believe it because I wasn't there for the whole few days. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you've learned some lessons then with drugs. And
I have. I've learned some major lessons, man. And you know, being strung out on heroin just isn't really an option. And I can't really do it now anyway because I don't have no veins that I can even give blood or get an IV, and I'm not gonna smoke the shit. That's pointless. And I've already muscled it before, and I got a couple scars from that, so I'm not gonna do that no more. So you know, drugs are bad. Stay away from drugs.
I was gonna say, if you had something to say to the kids,
stay away from drugs, y'all. I mean, I know that a lot of people in music try to like glorify it and make it look like, you know, the thing. But it's funny how, you know, music nowadays, they try to give you all this bullshit, but they don't show you the consequences. You know, everything's about robbing and getting the bag and negativity and violence and drugs, and it's like all that shit's fun when you're turning up and it's dope, but the consequences to that shit, I mean, that outweighs the fun you could have by a trillion-fold. You know what I mean? Like nobody ever wants to talk about consequences no more.
And you know, what does Portland hip hop do for you? What does Portland hip hop do for you, or has it done for you? Good or bad, I guess.
Oh man, that's a tough one. That's a tough touchy, man. I mean, I love Portland, man. I mean, you know, I got Till I Die, the Portland remix, Oregon Woods. You know, I'm always,
even got the tat. You even got the.
Oh yeah, Salem born, Portland raised. You know, I-5.
Yeah.
You know, this is my city and state, and you got to show love to where you're from, and that, because that creates and it builds who you are. And I've always had major love, man, always, and I've always shown love. I'm trying to show as much love possible in this city and state when it comes to shows, music, whatever. Just trying to be a pillar of positivity on that level and growth, and you know, and doing shit like that. But you know, the city hasn't always worked with me. You know, because the bullshit is actually grown bigger than me. GrinchMobb, that's a thing, that's an entity, that's a thing here, you know, that's a real life thing. But the bullshit, it's gotten bigger than me. And so now I got this bullshit sitting on top of my name, you know, and it's just exhausting trying to fucking deal with it.
It is the elephant in the room, you know. I think anybody that knows your story and knows, you know, who you are, they probably have 1,000 different things to say about you other than your music, I would imagine.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that's an obstacle that you've had to face numerous times amongst dealing in Portland, around the hip hop scene. And I don't know, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about that journey, you know, that whole...
You know, it's crazy that it never, up until this last year and a half, 2 years, you know, it's never really been too much of an effect when it comes to the scene and me being able to do anything or doing what I do. It hasn't really been that big of an issue. But in the past couple years, like I said, it's grown bigger than me because there's so many lies and stories and misconceptions and projecting. And you know what I mean? It's almost like I'm like Oregon's scapegoat. I'm like the martyr for anything and anybody, because it's like as long as it's not me, because the light has been shown so much on me for this bullshit, it's almost like everybody else is good to go. It's weird. It's a really weird feeling. You know, there's a lot of shit out there I've seen, I know, I watch, like, you know, and it's tough to deal with it. You know, all while trying to take care of my kids as a single dad. Like, it's crazy.
How the Xrated thing, how'd you meet him and how'd that all go down real quickly?
So the whole Xrated thing was hella random because a promoter that I know, he got in contact with Xrated about doing shows for him, which in turn became him taking a trip down to Sacramento. He asked me if I wanted to go. We went down there. I was able to meet the man in person. We spoke about a collab, And you know, lo and behold, I was able to finance that and make it happen. And,
That was cool. That was done by DeAndre too, and that was filmed down there in California, right?
Yeah, we filmed most of it in Oakland and parts of it here in Portland.
You can catch that on YouTube, everybody.
Yeah, it's called Low Life.
Low Life featuring GrinchMobb and Xrated.
Yeah, it's a dope song. It's a dope song. It's
Yeah.
a dope video too, and it was a dope experience. Cause,
Yeah, it was fun, I bet, yeah.
Raid is one of my favorite
Yeah.
rappers. I grew up on, dude. You know what I mean? And so like, dude, it was just surreal as fuck. Same with I got a feature from Twisted Insane, and I got a feature from Mitchie Slick too.
Oh, Twisted Insane, cool.
Yeah,
I think
which is super dope too. And I
he's
know
gonna
I
be
know
at
all
the-
three of them.
He's going to be at the show here pretty recently, isn't he? There's one coming up.
The Falls City.
The Philip Stengel event with the.
Yeah, it's in Falls City. That's that would have been a dope show. It should be a good show. Plus,
Yeah.
we got to perform that song at one of the shows. You know, he rocked it.
Oh,
with me.
you did?
Yeah.
Yeah. What show was that at, in California? There?
Nah, it was here. It was literally like the dopest night ever in my rap career. Xrated came up and rocked our song on my set at the show, and then that's the night that I had my last Xanax blackout. And literally just fucked everything up, and why I got the 4-year suspended sentence for felon in possession of a firearm.
So
hanging over me
basically,
right
you're
now.
saying one day earlier, and that whole experience might have been a whole lot different.
It's just crazy how that night went, man. It's just how dope that night was, and then what ended up, just that blackout. That was the detrimental because. But yeah.
So what do you do for Portland hip hop? What is it that you do? What is it that GrinchMobb does to make Portland hip hop in our city even more amazing than it already is?
I've always tried to put Portland on my back with everything that I do, musically, everything. I'm always repping it, no matter what, And I've got enough, low key relevancy to where I make sure Portland is on the forefront. And when it comes to shows and just working with people and connecting people with other people, I make sure to do that, and just try to to give people opportunities that may not have one, and recognize the people that deserve opportunities, and give love where it's due, and rock Portland on my back. Even though that shit's turned on me, you know what I'm saying?
Generally, I think this is the part where I have like the final question for you, but I have a special one for you. I just, before I ask you, is there anything you want to say to the city of Portland? Is there anything that you want to say to the city of Portland, Grinch? Maybe to clear the air, clear your name, to put this to rest, hopefully. Is there anything that you haven't said, or?
There's no way to put it to rest. It doesn't, because what happened has been said so many times. You've
apologized, right?
Yeah, I've apologized.
Yeah.
10 plus years ago, in the middle of my drug addiction, I met a chick downtown who, said she was of age, from my recollection. And I knew her that one day. And then 9 months later, I found out that she wasn't of age, and was 16, and I took that shit to trial. Like I've heard like people say I took a plea and this, that, the other, and plus there's the whole thing is gonna be gone. Like about this time next year, the whole thing will be gone because they fucked up in court 3 different times now. They haven't, it's not properly done. None of it, even that doesn't even say what's real, but my fucking kids live with me, you know what I mean? Like my backyard is David Douglas. This is North Powellhurst Elementary.
Yeah, I did.
Across the street from my house.
I did drive right by the school to get here.
And like this is my thing. Like so many people have so much to say, and they want to use all these. Oh, I seen these mug shots, and I seen what this person said and that person said, and they have no idea that what they're reading into isn't facts. They like the sensationalism has killed the facts. The truth and the matter and the facts and what's really going on, they don't matter no more. The sensationalism has killed it. It's way more clout involved to bring my name up with some bullshit. There's way more intention that's going to be brought when you bring my name up with some bullshit. But when you boil it all down, I've never had no legal restrictions. I'm a single dad trying to take care of his fucking kids. You know what I mean? And like, I don't see how these people can say this and then the actual facts and the truth of my life and what's, you know, what's there can hold on to the bullshit and really ride with that. If my kids couldn't live with me, if I couldn't live where I live, yeah, then I'd look at a motherfucker real funny. But it's just fucked, you know what I mean? And my son, you know, my oldest is 16, and you know, he's seen shit on the internet, and he's just like, what the fuck? He's like, this shit don't make sense to me. You know what I mean? He's like, how does this shit make sense? Like, he doesn't get it, but it's still, you know, it affects him on some shit. And again, it blows me away because, like, you know, it goes past that. So many people have told so many of these stories, these crazy, outlandish, wild stories. And I'm like, where are all the victims at? Where are all these, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a well-known motherfucker, man. And I fuck with a lot of bitches. And everybody knows that I fuck with a lot of bitches. I love women. Where's the fucking people raising their hand talking about, I got a personal story? You know what I mean? They don't exist. But motherfuckers would be like, but this, and this. I seen this, and somebody said this, and this, and have no idea what the fuck's going on. I'm 40 years old. Never been to fucking prison. Don't do dumb shit. Not a fucking weirdo. But that shit doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Truth and facts don't matter. You know what I mean? They don't matter. Yeah, they don't matter. Just trying to take care of my kids. Just trying to take care of my kids, man. And I can't take care of my kids the way I should be able to because other motherfuckers want to bring bullshit up that involves kids. And it's like, what does it have to, like, where is just like, man, I hate it. That's why I'll never, ever, ever stop fighting it. You can't question a motherfucker's character and honor and duty to self, family, and other human beings and put something on somebody like that and expect them to just eat that shit up and just sit back and say, well, I guess it is what it is. Nah, motherfucker, like I said, I'm trying to take care of my kids. So if you got something to say or you feel some kind of funny way, maybe you should look in the mirror and check yourself. How many skeletons y'all motherfuckers got in your closet that makes you project on me so motherfucking hard for nothing? End of the day, man, I love you. I love you, Portland. I mean, you are me and I am you. I wish that we could come to a middle ground on some understanding that you can't do what you do and expect it to be okay when it's not true. But I love you, Portland. I do. I love Portland hip hop. I love I love the whole vibe, the whole wave, everything from you know, and it's hard to name names and shit, but there's so much talent here, and you know, there's like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, you know, really name names in this. Like,
well, who's somebody you want to do some work with? I can think of a squad. Have you done anything with Indo Slim yet?
Nah, we're supposed to be doing something.
You guys need to get that done. If there's one Portland combo that I think I would really like to hear, I think the two of you guys.
Yeah, me and Indo, we've talked about it, but I don't have no motivation to do nothing. So like I would need it to happen in like a fast motion type thing.
You hear it? You listen to Indo? I know you listen. I know Indo's out there. Shout out to Indo Slim.
Yeah, shout out Indo. I know, but yeah, I mean that would be something super epic. Yeah. I mean, I wanna work with Mighty. You know, Mighty's my favorite Portland rapper.
He just celebrated the 10-year anniversary of him on 106 in Park. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I seen that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's my favorite rapper. You know, and then I got, you know, my guy Quizzilla. I'll always plug Quiz, man, because you know, talent-wise, he's probably the most talented person I know or met.
What do you got popping, and where can we find you?
So I have an album finished. I've had it finished for a minute. I keep adding to it. I literally, it's a fucking work that for some reason can never be done. I could actually probably drop probably like two 10-song situations, but I'm hoping to have it out by Grinchmas time. Have it out by Christmas, man, because I want to, the song for Triple Murder that we're doing a video to, I want to get that out there, and kind of get that thing going, and then prepare for the album drop. But it does need to drop. I'm locked out on my Spotify and all that shit, because when we did Low Life, somebody else set it up, and I still don't know how to fix it. I can't even release shit and have it like connected to like GrinchMobb. Like, it's fucked up. So there's multiple reasons why I haven't released nothing yet. But once I get that figured out, the album will be dropping. Well,
where can we find you on social media? Where can we get you?
If I'm not in fake book jail, I just got released yesterday. I have literally been in fake book jail for 97 days since the beginning of this year, because I can't stop arguing with the racists. Every goddamn time there's a video or something, there's a post, in the comment section, the level of these motherfuckers, man, and I can't help it. I see it, Jimbo, and I'm like, here they go. And I'm like, well, guess what? Look here, you maggot ass bitch made motherfuckers, and then poof, I'm in fake book jail. So it's Matt Wade. I also have my GrinchMobb page on Facebook, and it's GrinchMobb79 on Instagram, and it's GrinchMobb on YouTube, and it's GrinchMobb on everything else if you were to go, peep it and scope it. I do have a full mixtape that's out. If you go to DatPiff, GrinchMobb at DatPiff, there's like a 20-song mixtape that nobody knows about. There's also 2 other mixtapes under Illusionati that you can find. They're dope as fuck. One of them is with Promise NYC. He's a New York rapper who's epic. It was a group project. Most people don't know about these, but they're fucking epic motherfucking mixtapes in the meantime. Plus, I got the videos on YouTube you can peep, and man, just, mobbing this bitch, it's just, just trying to maintain being a male Virgo empath with all this love to give. And I literally got to fight through miles of hate before I can even get there. It's fucked.
I'd like to thank you for your time. Appreciate you coming out and joining. Thank you, sir.
No doubt. Thank you. Appreciate you, Jimbo.
Cheers, friend.
Mob.